I'm not kidding, that one has completely missed the stone chip. Whoever did that, look, the stone chip's there. There's like a 3mm gap between the touch-up and the... Hey everyone, hope you're all keeping well. Do you know what, I'm not going to do a complete journey on this car, but I'm just going to do a couple of little bits because we've just done the parking sensor fault, that's now fixed. But I wanted to show you, I get a lot of cars come in with what can only be described as horrific touching up of stone chips. I don't know if you can make this out on, but someone's touched this up. I think they've done it with a catapult maybe. Okay, so I watched that bit back whilst I was editing this. Now, for those of you out there that don't come from the county of Suffolk, the word we were looking for there was catapult. Sorry about that. It's just a what. Anyway, because like the stone chips are minuscule, but the actual touch up, there you go. You see, so the little white bit is the stone chip, and the touch up is the rest of it around it. I mean, it's 30 times the touch up. It's like 30 times the size of the actual stone chip. There's another one there. Look, that's all touch up. The stone chip is there. There's a stone chip. I mean, do you know what? If you block them off, you'd probably hardly see them, the stone chips. I think the worst ones are down here, because I mean that is. Look at that! Look. So like let's do it on that one. Stone chips there, maybe 2mm, and that's all touch up. So I thought I'd quickly just do a quick video of what I'm going to do to this, just to sort it out. What I'll do, I'll try and do this whilst I'm holding my phone. Let's see which one we can choose. Let's choose these ones down here on the bumper, so you can see the actual stone chip. Now that one, that's the stone chip, which hasn't actually got any paint in it, but all of that around there, that is touch up. So if I get my little 3MD nibber, this focuses in there. I'll just do that one there. Right, now don't panic. See, that blue residue is not the paint from the car coming off, because it's clear coated. That is the touch up coming off. Hopefully I haven't taken off too much, and you can see what it looks like when it starts coming off. So yeah, right, it isn't shiny anymore because I've actually flattered the clear coat as well. You can't really help that, but you can see where the stone chip is there. Touch up, another stone chip there, a bit more touch up there. So I'll do a little bit more. Get all that off. So you have to be a little bit careful on edges because the paint is a little bit thinner on actual edges. So I'll be careful when I'm mopping it to get all this off. And as you can see, almost all that touch up is almost off. There's a little bit left there. And there you go. I think you'll probably agree the original stone chips, the minuscule stone chips, look better. I mean, that looks better than that. I could polish that off now. The stone chips would still be there, but it wouldn't have that. So what I'll do, I'll touch that up with my little touch up. Actually, no, I'll mop it first so you can see what it looks like without the touch up. Right, so here I come. It didn't take a lot. Now, as you can see, so haven't done that one, have got touch up off them two. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get, so the BMW, unfortunately, the problem is the BMW touch-up pen comes with a big old brush, which might be the problem originally, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the original brush and get a little artist's brush on there. And try and get that in there. Get that in there. Now what it will do, so it will, as you can see now, it protrudes at the moment. So that paint will end up settling in the stone chip, and then I'll flat it again so it's flush. But I've got to let it dry and I've got to let it bake. So you have to leave it a few hours. But that's why you do them all at the same time. So I'll do these ones, then that whole bottom bit will be done. So there you go. That is what it now looks like. So it's been mopped, it's been touched up. Now they do protrude a little bit, so I've got to wait for them to go off and sink in, and then I'll flatten them. You might have to touch up some of them again to keep them flat because they do sink in quite a lot. But I mean, compared to what it looked like, I haven't done it yet. It hasn't cost me any money other than a touch-up pin, but I'll do it for the whole front end of the car. It's not going to be brand new. It's done 88,000 miles, this car, but it looked pretty bad before. So what I've done with the bonnet, so you saw me at the start of this video flat the horrific patches of touch-up on the bonnet. I have then touched them up with what is actually a tool for unblocking washer jets. So I get the touch-up pen out of the BMW touch-up stick and I get a tiny little bit of paint, as you can see here, and I literally just lay it in the stone chips. I then let that go off. I get my little abrasive 3M pads and I actually stick one on the end of my finger and I just take the top off, as you can see here, just take the top off the paint that I've put in the stone chip. Then I'll let that dry and then I'll get my mop and I will mop all of the patches that I have flattered, which looks like, which are the light patches you can see, and then I'll mop them off, and then you should end up with what we've got here. So I've put the number plate on and I've polished the grill a little bit, so subconsciously you guys think, wow, Kev done really well on them stone chips, the front looks way better. But what I really want you guys to see is, is the bonnet. You saw what it looked like before. I'll put a little picture up of that now so you can just see what it looked like before. And this is what it looks like now. I know it doesn't look brand new, I know it doesn't look like it's been repainted, but the chips that were there, can we... There's one. It's flat now, but you can still see them, but there's one and there's one. But that's obviously an extreme close-up. Hi, Alfie. And but from a foot away, that's what they look like. And then from looking at the front of the car, so that the bonnet looks way better now. The main thing we need to deal with, which we were dealing with, is down here. So the last step we did on the front, on the lower front bumper, was touching up the stone chips that had been horrifically touched up before. And this is the stage we're at now. Yes, you can still see the touch-ups, and I haven't done the tiny little ones, which is still why I'm just focusing on the big ones at the moment. And that's what they look like now, close up, with paint in them. Get a little bit further away and you can't even see them. However, there's one stage now which almost solely relies on the colour of the car and the sort of result you're going to get. So when you're touching up a stone chip or a little scratch or an imperfection on the paint of a car, the paint and the... Hi, Alfie. Tired, mate. The paint and the colour, so the type of paint, as in, is it a clear over base, a non-metallic, or is it metallic, is it a pearl? And this is a real heavy metallic as well. Le Mans Blue's got loads of metallic in it. It's actually quite hard to flat. So the way that paint looks good on a panel is the way that it sits on the panel. When you touch it up with a brush, the metallic sits almost naturally out of the brush onto the panel. So it looks the same colour, ultimately. When you flat that, what you actually end up doing is flattening the top surface, so all of them metallic particles that were sitting really nicely end up sitting perfectly flat, or you end up going through the middle of half of them. So you end up with a nice blue colour on this particular car. When you flat it, it becomes really bright, because all you end up coming with is a load of metallic particles which are really flat, and it can go from blue to almost silver. That's the problem I'm going to have here. If this was a black car, this would be really easy. Black is really nice to flat. Even metallic black doesn't seem to matter quite as much. But if this was a non-metallic black car, do you know what? You could almost make it perfect. You could almost make a stone chip perfect and blend in. You wouldn't even have to think about getting something repainted. But these ones and this particular colour, when I flat this, and I am going to try and flat them because they're a tiny little bit raised, but when I flat these, there's a good chance it's going to make it the wrong colour and they might stick out even further. Most people would leave them as it is now because it looks fine, but I still want to try and flat it a little bit to see what happens. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong, and I'll have to do them all again and leave them touched up. But I do want to try it, so we'll try it. Just do a really little bit first. Let's see what colour it starts going. So there's a bit of blue coming off already, as you can see. So that's the edges come off. Ooh. You see how flat it is there? It hasn't. Oh, it has started changing colour already. That's a shame. Right, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do these two there. Right, let's mop that, that's it. I just open up my garage door so I can get it in the sun. So what do you think? It's in the sun now, so I'm trying not to hide anything in the shade, in the shadows. It's completely in the sun now. Of course, it's warm. So what do you think compared to what it looked like before? I mean, so now that's the one that I just flatted there. It's completely smooth now. It's a tiny bit lighter because I've flatted it. That one there I haven't flatted. That one I haven't flatted. But that one's making a bit of a reflection because it's slightly raised. So I'll flat that one. But I think overall, look at the front of the car now. I think that's pretty acceptable for a 10-year-old car. It looks lovely. It's a lovely car. I really like Le Mans Blue. I really like X1s, as you know. Get a little tripod out of the way. It's a stunning car. I'm really happy with it now. It doesn't look like my face did when I was 12 years old anymore, does it? So I'm going to leave it there before I go too far and melt through the paint or something silly like that. Sorry about my stuff everywhere. But I think that's it for that one. So thanks for watching this one, guys. The next one is going to be the new place again. It's going to be another little update on the new place. And then after that is another journey for another car, I think. Yeah, I'll leave you with, so yeah, the next one will be another update. So thanks for watching this one. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.